What's up, guys? It is a cloudy day at Glen Helen Raceway and we have a very exotic bike for you guys. This is a 315 big bore built by Tom Morgan Racing. It started out as a 1996 KX250 engine and it's now a 315 and it's in a 2018 Kawasaki KX450 frame. Excited to ride it today and tell you all about this awesome bike. Alright guys, Robert Reed flew all the way out here from Oklahoma City and he brought out this pretty exotic KX315 two-stroke. First time I've ever even heard of a 315, and Tom Morgan Racing did it up. So pretty wild day, overcast skies, great track. But first we got to introduce you guys to Robert Reed. He knows and built this thing up from the ground up. You said you had to scrounge up parts from everywhere to get this thing together,
so
right?
So the bike itself, the frame came from eBay, the subframe, the swing arm and linkage came from Facebook Marketplace. I bought the suspension on eBay, and then pretty much everything else is new.
So this was not a complete bike.
No, this was in a box. This was in a bunch of parts. This was in a box. Basically, we sent the frame to AJ Waggoner with Built500. He did the frame modifications and the radiators. I bought a 96 KX250 engine. That went on, I got that off eBay as well. That went to Tom Morgan Racing. It was bored and stroked to 315. Got all that back and I assembled the bike. We did the airbox adapter, the fuel system, and then just a general assembly of the bike. Ignition cover is just a billet on ignition cover. It's been powder coated, and then we lasered it off with help from Nub Tools.
Beautiful bike. Exotic build, but what was the real reason for you building this, and what was the purpose and what was the motivation for putting a 315 two-stroke in a KX250F frame?
Well, I had some buddies that are, most of my friends trail ride. We do single track, you know, old and slow. I have one friend in particular who was a racer, and he starts dragging me to tracks, and I didn't have anything that really would hold up on a track. I've got all off-road bikes, and so I built this bike. Originally I started it just to be a track bike, and originally it wasn't going to have the suspension, it wasn't going to have the 315, it wasn't, you know, the bike was a much simpler project, but as what happens a lot of times, it just got out of hand. So once I kind of got zeroed in on an engine, I saw Tom's 327 at the Two-Stroke World Championships a few years ago.
Yep.
I immediately contacted him. I'm like, I want that motor, just because growing up you know, in a hot rod family, I like fast stuff. So I wanted the motor, and then I just found a really good deal on the suspension and went from there. Well, Tom said that he, initially the 315, or the 327 was one that he was building, but the parts availability was a little sketchy. So he went down to the 315 so he could use some different components and make it a little bit easier and more available.
Cool. The connecting dot between the two of us was Brian at N2 Dirt Suspension.
Yes.
You reached out to my boss, Daryl Eklund, you said 2 years ago?
It's been 2 years, yeah.
Really, 2 years? It's not easy to set up a test with motocross action. We're pretty busy around here.
Be patient.
We're pretty busy around here, but he did get a hold of Daryl a while ago, and then Brian from N2 Dirt was able to connect the dots and make this thing happen. So Brian did the suspension,
yes.
And you've been working with him for a while now, right?
Yeah, we started working in 2018 on a bike that was featured on the Midweek.
MXA's Midweek Report.
Yes, Midweek
like
Report,
it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so just throughout the years, he's helped me with every project since then that I've built.
Cool.
And he's really great about talking me off of stupid ideas and keeping me kind of on track.
So,
yeah, he's the best suspension guy in the business.
That's cool. some of the details that I know. He'll fill in the gaps. ODI handlebars, the CFT bars, and then the ODI MX Pro lock-on grips. You already won us over there by throwing ODIs on the bars. You got the ARC clutch lever on here, and then you have a kit Showa suspension.
Yes.
And that came with triple clamps. Explain that.
Yes, it was I bought it off eBay. It was a kit.
Cool.
The shock, the forks, and the triple clamps, and then we had them redone by Alumahard anodizing.
Yeah, so we got some Pro Circuit triple clamps on there. Obviously, Brian at Anti-Dirt did the suspension across the board. TM Design Works, chain guide, slider. I'm happy with that as well. Best in the business there. And then you have an extended shift lever. Explain that.
It's a hammerhead. It came with the 20mm extension on it. Yes.
That's cool. And
they
then,
also did the brake pedal.
Yep. And then Fastco foot pegs. These ones were kind of funny for me. So they got a rubber insert in there to eliminate some of the vibration you get with the two-stroke inside of this aluminum frame. But with that, it's not really tailored for motocross, at least not for me. You can feel a little bit of a wiggle coming down when you're in the high G-force areas, but it is nice for eliminating some of that vibration.
We're still talking after we're done.
Yeah, we're still working it out. We're still working it out.
So the gas tank, we did a Pro Carbon. They're out of the UK. Gas tank cover to kind of cover up some scratches. Did a Trail Tech temperature gauge and Boyesen supercooler. And also did a Boyesen clutch cover as well. FMF Addy exhaust pipes, got the Turbine Core 2 silencer, uni filter, which it actually uses an older two-stroke filter with the adapter plate that we did.
Cool.
Graphics by Decal Works, Faster USA wheel set with DID STX rims.
And we also filled up with ETS fuels today. We used the Extra Blaze 100 blend, and then we blended that 40-to-1 with blood lubricants in there. So you recommended 40, wanted 100 octane in this ride.
Yes, that's what the motor was built for.
Yeah, exactly. So ETS fixed that for us today. And then also we had some jetting issues.
With the change in elevation from Oklahoma City's 1100 and the difference in the air, we did have to drop the needle a couple of notches and go from a 162 main to a 160, which cleaned everything up.
Cleaned it up and made a ride rev quite a bit higher into the RPMs when we mess with the main jet. That was one thing. Eric Swan with KX Guru, he rides their 500 all the time, and he has a lot of experience. So he hopped on this thing, helped me dial it in, and he had some good notes on the jetting for us. So, and as far as suspension goes, it is set up for Robert, so not really tailored for me, but it was glued to the ground in the corners. That was one thing I really appreciated about it. As far as the power, honestly, it was very impressive. It wasn't as snappy as a normal 250 two-stroke. Part of that is maybe we're running a little bit of a stiff spring in the...
May have a throttle cable problem.
Yes. But it wasn't as snappy as a 250, but it actually felt a lot like a 500, and that's why I wanted to get Eric Swan's opinion on it. 500, you have to respect the power. You have to ride fourth gear all the time. You have to ride a gear higher everywhere you go. 315, it was kind of in between a 500 and a 250 two-stroke for me. I have a ton of experience on 250 two-strokes, quite a bit of experience on 300s, and then little experience on a 500. I'd say this notched right in between really the 300 and the 500. It wasn't as snappy as our new KTM 300 two-stroke or 250 two-stroke, but overall still a fun bike to ride on the track. And you built it as a passion project.
Yes.
And it certainly shows that, and it was fun to ride on the track with us today. All right, guys, so overall, fun times riding. Like I said, it's a passion project for Robert, and it was fun to finally get our hands on it after 2 years in the making, shipping it all the way out here from Oklahoma, flying all the way out here to Glen Helen Raceway, and putting it to the test on the national track we have here. Good times. Thank you guys for watching this video. We'll have a full article detailing all the different parts that were used on this bike and the processes that went into building it. Check it out, Motocross Action Magazine. Subscribe on our website, motocrossactionmag.com. Subscribe to the magazine there, get it shipped to your door every month. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.